So, what happens when you climb that huge mountain of success, only to get to the top and find out the view is kind of empty? It's a problem that, believe it or not, a ton of high achievers face. In this explainer, we're going to dive into a really powerful coaching session between the one and only Tony Robbins and business giant Alex Hormozi. We're going to unpack the secrets to finding what really matters, true fulfillment.
And this right here, this quote from Hormozi, it's the absolute core of the problem. I mean, think about it. The guy has built this massive empire, and yet he admits he's just running on autopilot. He's driven by habit, not by passion. The magic is gone. It's such a raw, honest confession, and it's what sets the stage for this massive breakthrough we're about to see. And that leads us straight into something we can call the high achiever's paradox, right? It's this idea of having all the success in the world, but zero satisfaction to go with it. You know that feeling? You hit all your goals, you check all the boxes, but emotionally you just feel flat. So the big question is, why does this happen to so many incredibly smart, driven people? Let's dig in. Okay, so here's the breakdown. Think of it like this. There's a science to achievement. It's like a formula, right? You can follow the steps and you can win. But fulfillment, well, fulfillment is an art. It's deeply personal. And what happens is these high achievers, they absolutely master the science, but they get stuck operating out of duty, out of obligation, and that's the exact moment all the joy just drains right out of it. All right, so where does Tony Robbins even begin to tackle this? It's fascinating. He starts with the words we use. Not just the words we say out loud, but our internal vocabulary. His whole point is that these words aren't just describing our reality, they are creating it. They literally build the emotional house that we live in every single day. Let's take a closer look at how our words shape our world. And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. Tony's point is that this goes way deeper than just positive thinking. He explains that the specific words you choose actually trigger a biochemical response in your body. So you're not just describing a feeling of stress or joy, you are literally commanding your body to produce the chemicals for it. It's that powerful.
And this chart just lays it out so perfectly. I mean, look at this. Are you framing your work as a duty or as an opportunity? Is it an obligation or a joy? This isn't just playing with words, you guys. This is everything. It's the fundamental difference between feeling totally drained at the end of the day and feeling completely alive. It's that classic powerful shift from I have to do this to I get to do this.
And this reveals Hormozi's deep-down programming. This was his actual mantra, the one he'd live by, born out of all his intense struggles. Find a goal worth suffering for. He literally wired his own brain to believe that anything meaningful had to be linked with pain, that success and suffering were the same thing.
And Tony's reframe is just bam, so direct, so powerful. He basically challenges Hormozi to snap out of it, to break this self-imposed hypnosis he's been living in. When he says transcend, he literally means end the trance of that old identity that believed in suffering. It's a wake-up call to completely abandon that old story that you have to suffer to win.
Okay, so changing your language is a huge piece of the puzzle, but that change has to be fueled by a different kind of motivation. And this is where Tony breaks it down into two fundamental forces that drive us: push versus pull. Let's see exactly how these two work.
All right, let's break this down. Push motivation. That's your willpower. That's pure grit. It's the no pain, no gain mindset. And don't get me wrong, it can build empires. But the problem is, it's a finite resource. It feels like a grind, and eventually you burn out. Now, pull motivation, that's a whole different ballgame. That's when you're drawn towards a mission so big and so compelling it feels like a calling. And the energy you get from that, it feels infinite. Because it's not just about you anymore. It's about what you feel like you were made to do.
So, where do these different kinds of motivation actually come from? Well, Tony suggests something really interesting. That we're not just one single person, we actually have multiple selves inside of us. And our entire experience of life, whether it's a grind or a joy, depends on which one of those selves is in the driver's seat. So let's meet these two selves.
First up, you've got what we can call analytical Alex, or basically your head. This is the part of you that is an absolute genius at execution in business. It analyzes, it manages risk, it optimizes everything. It's a survival machine, really, and it's designed to run on that push motivation we just talked about. But here's the key. It's not built for joy. It's not its job.
And then you have the other self. Let's call him anabolic Alex, which is really your heart. This is the part of you that actually feels fully alive. It's what connects with people, it magnifies the small, beautiful moments, and it finds deep meaning in contribution. This self is powered by that pull motivation, getting its energy from a bigger purpose. And this is where fulfillment lives.
And this right here is maybe the most important takeaway of all. Your brain, your analytical mind, its job is to keep you alive, to keep you safe. It does that by analyzing and questioning everything. It will never, ever make you happy. That's not its job. Your heart, on the other hand, its job is to feel and connect. Happiness is its territory. It's that simple.
Which brings us to a really critical question, and I want you to really think about this for yourself. Who have you selected to run your life? Who is in the driver's seat? Is it your head or is it your heart? In your business, and even more importantly, in your actual life? The answer to that question changes everything.
So the next logical question is, okay, how do we actually put the heart in charge? How do you make that switch? Well, you do it by giving your heart something to be pulled by. You find what Tony Robbins calls a moonshot mission. We're talking about a goal that is so big, so focused on contribution, that it just completely ignites you from the inside out. Let's look at what that means. So, Tony gives his own story as a perfect example of this. For 37 years, he'd helped feed 42 million people, which is amazing, right? He felt good about it, but he didn't feel that deep soul-level connection. So he set a moonshot, a goal that sounded completely impossible: feed 1 billion people in 10 years. That crazy goal forced a totally new level of energy, a new strategy, and guess what? He hit the goal in just 8 years. That's the insane power of a pull mission. And this perfectly explains why Alex Hormozi's earlier charity donations, even though they were for millions of dollars, left him feeling so empty. He was just writing a check. There was no emotional connection. It wasn't his mission. It wasn't rooted in his own personal story or his own pain. So with Tony's guidance, Alex starts to dig deep and find his own moonshot, one that's rooted in the very pain he knows best. And the first piece of it is this number, 100,000. Specifically, 100,000 young men, the exact group of people he used to be. But 100,000 young men to do what?
And here it is. The goal is to help each and every one of them achieve the exact same milestone that changed his own life forever, putting $100,000 in their bank account for the very first time.
See, for Alex Hormozi, that first 100K, it wasn't just about the money. Not at all. That was the exact moment his entire identity shifted. It was the moment he went from just surviving to actually believing, for the first time, that he could thrive. So by helping other young guys have that same transformative experience, he finally connects all of his success to a mission that, you can just feel it, truly, deeply matters to him.
And so this leaves us with the ultimate reframe. The old question, the one that drove the high achiever, was, what's a goal worth suffering for? But the new question, the one that unlocks fulfillment, the one that puts your heart in charge, is this: what's a mission worth enjoying for? And that, right there, is a question that can change absolutely everything.